Hey, I'm Ryan with Front End Audio, and this is the Equate multi-channel EQ from Malcolm Toft. It's a very cool box, and we're going to go over why it is. Let's just look at what it features. On the rear of the unit, you have fully balanced TRS inputs and outputs, as well as DB25 inputs and outputs, and of course, the IEC power cable input. Kind of need that because otherwise you can't turn the unit on, right? Now, on the front of it, you see all the controls for the 8 channels of Malcolm Toft designed EQs that you have. They're all identical, and they're all an evolution of and based on his original design for the EQ circuit of the Trident 80B console. Being that this is based on a console EQ, that makes it perfect for both tracking and mixing applications. In fact, we've sold these to people for mixing drums, and they have had amazing results and great feedback. Now, with every channel here, you have the same features. Again, we're going to kind of go top to bottom at the same time, because the first thing you'll notice at the very top is a low-pass filter. Corresponding to that at the very bottom is a high-pass filter. You know me, I think everything should be recorded through a high-pass filter because, again, with a guitar, electric guitar, you don't really need anything below like 70, 80 hertz, and that's kind of pushing it, right? Vocals, acoustic guitars, 80 to 100 hertz you can get rid of, right? Anywhere from there. So when you get rid of all that unnecessary information in sound sources that aren't benefiting from it, you open it up for sound sources that will benefit from it. Bass guitars, kick drums, floor toms. You know, same thing with a low pass. You don't really need anything above 10K in a kick drum, or really anything above 8K in a distorted electric guitar. So when you get rid of that information that's not necessary, you open it up for the sound sources that are going to benefit, that do need that space to live. And if you do it before you get to the DAW, you're just going to have better results. It's just you're going to work less hard, you're going to make it easier on yourself, and you're going to improve the sound of your mixes from the get-go by just getting rid of that stuff before it even hits your converters. So having both a high pass and low pass on this EQ is awesome to me. Now, you also have 4 bands on each channel. A high filter, it's going to be a shelf, and a low filter shelf. They allow you to boost or cut up to 15 dB. And that is the same on the mid bands, a high mid and a low mid. Now, the frequencies on the high mid and the low mid are sweepable, so you can hone in on the frequencies that you want to boost or pull back, but you can boost or cut up to 15 dB, which is a very nice feature, and that nice continuity and consistency in the workflow. And then, of course, at the very, very bottom, you have this button. When it's lit on, your EQ is engaged. When it is not backlit, it is bypassed. So you can engage and bypass each individual channel as needed. And then you have your power button right over here. Again, being based on a console EQ, it's going to be perfect for tracking and mixing. And you have a very natural sounding EQ. You can boost and cut significantly without any artifacts or any weirdness going on. And it really allows you to shape things and get things right. You know, a lot of times you want to do that on the way to tape or the DAW, but also after you track, you know, it's going to help finalize things and get things sounding right and give you a more intuitive and artistic kind of workflow to things. Again, we have sold these to people who utilize them specifically for recording drums and have phenomenal results. You'll also notice that physically, it's laid out like a 500 series rack. If you were to have a 8-slot 500 series rack on top of this loaded with 8 mic pre's or compressors, it would line up and aesthetically look pleasing. And then you could daisy chain them and create a mini mixer. So you have the legacy of somebody like Mr. Malcolm Toft, who is a living legend and has contributed so much to the audio industry, bringing his classic designs up to date and refining them and enhancing them to something new that's well suited for the modern world and is forward thinking, not just in functionality, but in aesthetics and layout. And everything is designed by him and his team and built by him and his team in England. So build quality, quality control, performance, longevity, features, the whole 9 yards. You got nothing to worry about. A phenomenal box. One that's on my short list and will eventually make it to my studio. For more information on the Equate all the great products brought to you by Malcolm Toft, and for all your pro audio needs, please do check us out online at frontendaudio.com. Thank you.